sag to what happened to their team. But what's not sag is the state of this tournament, as we've got game number 2 of Vivo Keed Stars taking on Felt here. Wesley, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Quite a convincing game number one from Vivo Keed Stars. But I think the path forward for Felt is pretty straightforward. They had lanes problems in the game number one, and I think it comes down to the draft and see how they can adjust it, how they can set up better lanes for themselves looking into
Yeah,
this next game.
I agree. I agree 100%. I think they fell too far behind early, and a lot of it just came down to mistakes in the draft. Like the TA pick, super fantastic in the Tide, and then of course the last pick, Dark Sierra, was just way too good. But we're just gonna jump right into game number 2. So let's go ahead and throw it on over to the draft as we've got this heading underway now. So we can finally see what these teams decide to cook up here. Maybe we're gonna see some changes, some new heroes, which I'm down for because I'd love to see some new patch heroes.
Yeah, unfortunately, if we look at the stats so far for this NADCL preseason, the heroes that are showing a lot of success are the kind of the same old heroes. We have a Wind Ranger with a 100% win rate. We have a Spear Breaker with a 100% win rate. We have a
Oh
Timber Saw
no,
with a 100% win rate.
you're
So
not supposed to tell me these things.
if we're looking at stats alone, um, then it's the same old from here on out. Some up and comers are Snapfire actually. Which I know both these teams do play Snapfire, so maybe that's something we can look out for as Wind Ranger is banned, as well as that Timbersaw that I mentioned.
No surprise there. I do like Snapfire. I think this hero is really good. Maybe it's because I just watch a lot of Beast Coast and I love Beast Coast as a whole, and they are like the Snapfire team. Same with the EG. I mean, generally, it's okay. Just South America loves Snapfire in general, and I love that hero as well. She's one of my favorite heroes in Dota, and I feel like it has a lot of strengths right now. So I'd like to see it get picked a little bit more. But
True. I mean, we saw it in Dream League, right? We saw Miracle playing it. We've seen Sumail playing it. So it's definitely, left the South American region a little bit for some greater popularity.
okay,
Speaking of staples, we have a Texas.
yeah, I mean, this is pretty much entirely due to the fact that they changed up this phase 1 ban. So they
Right.
have the ability here where it's like Felt has to either make the decision like what they want to ban on 4, which is if they're more worried about the Medusa carry, or they leave the techies in and go for something else. And it looks like we're actually more worried about the Medusa, which I think is a little bit interesting because I don't know.
Yeah, and they also ban out the Storm Spirit second on Vivo Keyd Stars. So they're going to say, all right, Felt, do you have another strategy besides Pugna Storm? Which I'm surprised they're even scared of to begin with. It feels like they solved it, but we're gonna see a Bat Rider here from Felt, and I would love to see a Spear Breaker be the second pick.
I'm a little bit curious what they decide to do with this Batrider. I know Kits can play it. The hero seems pretty strong no matter what. I don't think he received any like sizable nerfs. Let's see. It was just slight damage decrease on sticking napalm and the movement slow on flame break. Yeah, so just slight balances. I do think the hero was maybe just a tad bit too strong, but for the most part, the hero still plays almost identically in the lane phase. Since he is universal now, you just go for early stats. You actually have good base damage. You have good base movement speed now. Um, New Batrider is interesting. He's a beast. All right, yeah, we'll have to see. It looks like, yeah. So Bounty Hunter, the response as well. They go for the Spirit Breaker here once again, which I'm actually curious on what they do with this because Techies is typically played on the 4, but you had such a good game last time for this Spirit Breaker that it's like maybe you still want to take it on the 4, but now that you have a lot more flexibility, King RD can play either of these. You can still play Techies in the 5 for KJ if they really want, just because the hero is just so strong. You can take it to pretty much any lane you want. But yeah, I love this opening from Vivo Keyd Stars. I think both these picks are always very strong if you can get them. The Bounty Hunter does maybe throw a wrench into things just because this hero can allow you to kind of recover or snowball if you fall behind or if you make some mistakes and you start to get pickoffs that would give Felt kind of an avenue back into this game. We're going to see some of the obvious bans here, though, from Felt. So they get rid of the Slark. We'll probably see Bloodseeker as well as... Um, what would be another good Dispeller? Maybe the Faceless Void here, honestly. Something along the lines of that that can actually deal really well with the Bat Rider in the lane. Makes me feel like they are looking for this to go into the off lane if that's what they're already banning. We'll have to see, though. He starts to get rid of the TA. I don't know. I'm curious what they want to do with the Spirit Breaker. Because, again, like the last game, they do 24 pick the Dark Seer, which just threw Felt off completely. This game, they had first pick, so Felt will have the ability to counter out what they do on like 18 and 24. Which I think gives them a little bit of a better draft advantage this time around. But we'll have to see, because you do kind of hide where the positions are going, at least at the moment for Vivo. They're just going through their reserve time like crazy. Just really debating on what they want to ban here, it seems. It has to be carries at this point, right? Like, I can't figure what else it would be. You kind of already... Yeah, okay, they do. I was like, you already have this Techies Spear Breaker. For sure, one of these is going into the off lane. It's like, you might as well just start banning out some of the carries that you really don't want to play against with one of these heroes. Or both of these heroes, rather. So that you can then, you know, pick a decent carry matchup for yourself maybe earlier on in the draft. 10 seconds. Felt still holding on to their next ban, which, like I said, probably going to be Bat Rider counters in the lane. Faceless Void comes to mind specifically because of time dilation. Decent enough against the Bounty Hunter as well. You have heroes like Yell as well. I don't think that hero has gotten as much attention lately, but you could go for something like PL. There's other ones. Lifestealer potentially has been getting picked up a little bit more, but not like a great Lifestealer game by any means at the moment. Yeah, there's the Faceless Void. Nailing it. All right, let's see. Last ban here, man. I mean, both these teams took so much of their reserve time out for this. But hey, Wes, welcome back.
Our flashes a storm cooking outside, but I hope this draft has been cooking as well. What's going on?
It is. Yeah. So, I mean, a little, you know, not much. You actually didn't miss a whole lot. These teams actually just waited for you to get back. They're being very polite. As you know, they pretty much burned all of their reserve time on these second phase bans. But carries all removed from the pool here from Vivo Keyd Stars, the Techie Spirit Breakers, their opener, and Felt trying to protect this Bat Rider pick most likely with some of the carry matchups. They get rid of that Slark, of course, the Faceless Void as well, and I'm a little bit unsure where they go with the next one because some of the other counters, the Naga Siren or the PL would be the third, but PL hasn't seen that much picks anyways. So yeah, they go for the Queen of Pain instead. So it could be mid Bat Rider then, if that's the case.
True. And there's other options, right? You go for an Oracle or something that can purge off these stacks. It doesn't have to be solved in the carry role. So I think overexerting bans in the carry matchup can be a little overkill. So I like the Queen of Pain ban set up for the mid lane if that's where they decide to put the Bat. But with a Bat Rider Bounty Hunter, it could very easily be an off lane here as well.
I was like thinking like, oh, you know, maybe they could go for carry Abaddon or something. But then I remember that for some reason, when they were rebalancing in this patch, they just decided to not like take the nerf bat to Abaddon. They took a full sledgehammer and then some. They like literally broke his kneecaps. And then they're like, oh, you ride a horse. And then they broke the horse's kneecaps. And then they just buried him. Like, this hero is like, I've never seen a hero get nerfed so heavily in like a sub patch in my entire life. This is like actually one of the most insane nerfs.
Yeah, Bob was like, wait a minute, this hero's getting played. Bad is in this hero's name. This hero isn't supposed to be picked. So they fixed that really quick. So
yeah, what happened? Like, I'm just like looking at the numbers on this. This thing got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Anyway, they go for a Lich here, a really strong 5. We've been seeing a lot, and it does give you a lot of options on the carry. The primary one in my mind has been Juggernaut recently with the Lich lane. I think that one has been super strong, gives you a lot of kill threat.
Mm. Bloodseeker comes to mind as well. Woo! Ooh.
Yeah.
I wasn't
This
thinking
is
about
the
it
other
for
one I
Vivo
was
Keyd
worried about
Stars,
for
but
Butt. Yeah, I was worried about it for Bat Rider.
yeah. So trades really well into that Bat Rider. I think this pretty much makes it certain that this Bat Rider is going to go mid, right? Because you don't really want to lane the Bat Rider into the Bloodseeker. I just don't think you trade that well into it, especially with
It's
the
not
techies then.
terrible. It's not terrible. The thing is, it really we don't really know if this Techies is going to be the 5 because it could still be like a 3 Spirit Breaker 4 Techies lane.
Oh yeah, true.
But that was one of the things I was talking about. I was like, maybe they move the Techies to 5. We'll have to see. They grab Ember Spirit for the mid lane for Analog,
Yeah, great
which
Ember
is a
Spirit
little bit
player.
interesting. So now they're baiting this Bat Rider pick to go mid, I think is what it is. Because they actually want the Bloodseeker without having to play it into the Bat Rider here.
Is it a bait though? Like, aren't you happy playing bad against Ember? Just pick a different 3. Like, surely there's something else
Well,
that can go
yeah.
against this Bloodseeker.
I think that's what Vivo wants. I think they don't want the Bat Rider versus Bloodseeker, and they're just like picking the Ember, saying like, okay, take the Bat Rider mid into us, and Analog is saying like he feels like he might be able to just beat the Bat Rider heads up or at least draw the lane, and now they're kind of hoping they go for a different off lane because I don't know if there's a ton that really do beat the Bloodseeker. This hero is so
Yeah,
good.
I agree. Vivo Keystars, they're Mars enjoyers. They do pick that hero quite a lot in the offlane to
Does
a
that hero
relative
still
success.
exist?
I hear
Mars?
it exists for Vivo Keystars, according to the stats.
Unless you're Dark Mago, I feel like Mars just is not in like I feel like if you go to your heroes tab and you look at your heroes by attribute, Mars is just actually not there unless your name is Dark Mago, and then you're allowed to pick it.
Truly a pay to win. Only he gets to
Yeah.
play a hero. As Shadow Fiend's going to be the pick, and so that's going
Oh.
to be the mid lane. And Shadow Fiend dumpsters Ember Spirit.
Yeah. I think they really were hoping it would be a Bat Rider mid here, but now you have 2 good lanes here for Felt, which is really what they need.
Yeah, we talked about it. They needed to solve their lanes, and they're looking like they're able to do it. And what I really like about this Lich pick is that it's no Pugna, right? This Lich is going to be able to trade so much better with whatever they put it against. It has Frost Shield to be defensive. It has a Frost Blast to get that magical nuke out, as well as the slows. So even whatever this last pick is going to be for Felt and for Stonebank, it's a much stronger safe lane. So the lanes are looking much better for Felt this time around.
All right.
And then when we look at Vivo Keydstars, they're looking for an offlaner to round out their draft. And they have to pick it blind into Stonebank's hero. So what are you thinking? Vino was what I was thinking, just got banned by Felt. What are some other options here to pair with the Spearbreaker?
Well, it does kind of depend on if you want to run the Spirit Breaker as a 3 or a 4 here. Because you could still run a 3 and then run Techies there and then pick a 5. That would protect the Bloodseeker a little bit more. But then you're pretty much your only option would be something like an Oracle. And I don't know if that's enough to really help you survive this game. So I would say with the Monkey King Terrorblade bans,
You could run the Darkseer back. It's a little worse. Yeah, they ban it.
yeah, I think it's worth banning just because of
Yeah.
the Spirit Breaker.
I mean, I
Pairing
think
is
it's
just
going to be a
too strong.
Spearbreaker forward just because King RD cooked last game, right? King RD
Yeah.
was feeling himself. He had a pretty much perfect game. And so I think just give it to him again.
You have to just pick a solid 3 position here. Like if you're actually playing the Spirit Breaker 4, Techies 5, you just have to pick a hero that is just stable in the lane. You're not worried about dying, and I mean that's one of them. So
Yeah.
this is sick. It's a good aura builder, good damage dealer. Survives a lot of the burst. The familiars completely ruin Lich's ult. It is actually so annoying. They take no damage from it.
Yeah, and even with the Spearbreaker, like Bulldoze does a lot to mitigate Lich's impacts as well when trying to trade there.
All right.
Interesting, and they're going to go for the CK. It's the final pick.
CK's not bad. I actually don't mind it. The biggest pick would have been Naga Siren here, but of course it's banned, so there's not really a whole lot you can do. And there's, I mean, a lot of carries were banned. So Vivo kind of allow them to get at least somewhat of an okay lane here. Chaos Knight is rough. Don't get me wrong. The minus armor that comes out from CK's Reality Rift is actually really difficult for Visage to deal with because this is basically a zero armor hero. It relies entirely off of Gravekeeper's Cloak to be tanky, and of course the uh, whatever the Q is, Soul Assumption to try and give yourself that movement speed and attack speed reduction. So we'll see if they can manage to survive this lane against the CK. I think CK Lich is going to be scary though. I
Yeah, I
actually
think
like
so
Felt's
too.
draft a ton. I think they have a really good draft here.
Yeah, and on the other hand, like for a Visage, you want to hit that level 6, and with those birds, you want to be able to bully that safe laner out of lane. But with a Chaos Knight, he's going to have an armlet, treads, there's going to be a Lich behind him with a Frost Shield. Those birds are not going to do enough damage to try to bully the CK anywhere. So he's going to be able to, assuming he has a good start, going to be able to stay in lane as long as he wants to. And that's really good for a CK because this is not a hero that retreats to the jungle and is super comfortable about it. So pretty happy with the CK. My one concern is it going to be good enough in the carry to carry matchup against Bloodseeker? Bloodseeker is like the carry of the patch, and CK is not, like, simply. And so when it comes to these mid game timings, these late game timings, Bloodseeker could just have the raw numbers in this meta to kind of take it. And even the Bloodseeker and the Shadow Fiend, like Bloodseeker kind of out man fights these heroes to a degree. So that's my one concern here for Felt.
Yeah, and those are valid concerns. But I'm excited. I like this a lot more from them. I think overall, Felt has a much better chance here in game number 2. Um, Fade, obviously, very comfortable on his Bat Rider. And the mid lane, Kit's Shadow Fiend should be pretty dominant unless something weird happens. Like if you give up like a first blood or something and allow this Ember to get to like an early bottle. But it looks like there's gonna both teams are gonna smoke right down the mid lane, try and get some aggressive vision placed.
Yeah, like you said, I like Felt's chances a lot more. And even with how behind they were in game number 1, we still saw them execute some team fights relatively well and take some wins here and there despite their net worth lead. So if these lanes just even go a little bit better, we could see Felt coming to the mid game a lot stronger and hit some timings. Actually have a
Mhm.
game on our hands.
Oh man, this smoke. If Felt manages to hold the high ground here and get some vision, it'd be fantastic. But Analog is actually positioned pretty decently to avoid this, and they don't have a ward place to scout him out. So they will see Stone Bank, they will see AB1 and Kits now. So they have all the vision in the world on the side of Vivo. They know exactly what's going on here. Just
Yeah,
barely
not
dodging
gonna
out
get
that
caught out.
smoking.
Fairly passive little bounty rune exchange going on. In terms of kill threat, I mean, kind of all lanes have a little bit. We have Techie's Bloodseeker, we have Visage Spearbreaker, we have a Shadow Fiend middle. Like, there really could be a lot of violence erupting here in the laning phase, all across the map.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll trade 2 for 2 for the
Lich,
runes. There's a little bit of a fight on the bottom one. Will just potentially get first blood, and it does. Over to KJ, which, I
Techie's
mean,
damage.
yeah, Techie's damage is just some other beast. I don't know. I will say it not going to Analog is the silver lining there. He still gets 69 gold for the assist. Very nice. But him not having that early bottle is a big deal still.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully he was able to level Flame Guard first. He didn't have to go for some like Sleight of Fist level to secure the kills, so didn't have to cost too much to secure that first blood in this mid lane. Still able to secure the sort of decent skill. Try to mitigate the damage that the Shadow Fiend can do out because in this matchup, Shadow Fiend just gets raises, already level 2, has a point in Necromastery. This lane can really snowball out of control as Shadow Fiend just pumps damage with the raises. His right clicks start hurting really bad too eventually, so it'll definitely be a bit of damage mitigation coming out here for the mid lane. Analog trying to make sure that this lane doesn't go absolutely disastrously. He's still able to have a lane, which for Ember Spirits, they're able to recover into this into the mid game. They definitely aren't a hero that has to have everything go exactly perfect for them to
Really
still have
nice,
impact.
really nice move from Keatstar's top. They know they don't want to actually play into this Chaos Knight, so King RD just wave dragging sets a wave up here for FCR so he can try and get to his level 2, which is really important. And, they are going to get at least a little bit of a nice XP going the way of the Visage, despite it being a rough lane. Bottom lane, Fade is really struggling. They have this blood grenade here on this Techies, which actually might allow them to find a kill here next time he has Blast Off up. That item is just nuts.
Blood grenade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's so funny. It's like my favorite item in the game. It's so good. Whoa, top.
I mean, that's a very nice kill.
That's huge. Yeah, getting early kills on CK feels really nice. It's a hero with a kit that just offers so much kill threat. And so be able to use it, it's like it kind of feels bad putting points in these spells if you're not getting some aggressive plays off of it. So able to get the kill on a King RD, and this safe lane is already going dramatically better than it did in game number 1.
Yeah. I mean, all their lanes are, right? I mean, look at mid. Somehow this Ember Spirit is doing pretty dang well. Gonna catch a double raise there, but so, I mean, he's CSing decently in bottom lane. They're looking for this Bounty Hunter, and they will be able to burn him down here. So it goes the way of Ghost of Elite.
Yeah, big kill going to this Bloodseeker, and he is having a very nice lane against this Batrider. Yeah, typically Batrider has a very nice matchup into these melee cores, but against a Bloodseeker, especially with the techies behind him, the sustain is just way too much. And the amount of harass coming out from the techies makes it very hard for Batrider to step up and get the sort of trades that it normally is able to get with Sticky Napalm, which he doesn't even have skilled. He has a point in Flamebreak, a point in Firefly, so he just wants to clear waves as fast as possible and mitigate the amount that he's trading with this Bloodseeker.
We're seeing rotation top from techies. Yep, and he's going to snipe Stonebank. AJ drops the bomb there onto AB1. He knows he's dead. Just a quick 2 kills for the side of Vivo Keatstars. Very good rotation from the techies.
Yeah, I think KJ was like, all right, King RD got all the love last game. Everyone was talking about how good a Spirit Breaker was, but it's his turn as a support to show up and make the big plays, and he's having a great game so far in this techies as he's TPing mid.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to need to get some help here on this Shadow Fiend, but AJ being this close, the rotation from King RD ends up netting them the kill on the kits. Beautifully done.
Wow.
Playing around that water rune.
Yeah, exactly not what you want to happen in this matchup, right? You pick Shadow Fiend to dumpster this Ember Spirit, and getting killed in this matchup is just something that shouldn't happen, but that is one of the downsides of the Shadow Fiend hero, right? Is how susceptible it is to these rotations, and between attackies, between a Spirit Breaker, the rotations of the mid lane are so strong.
Yeah, I was gonna say specifically Spirit Breaker. It's got to be one of the most frustrating heroes to deal with. And Kits, he's super far forward again. It's gonna allow Analog to just rotate on. KJ's here as well.
KJ's still here.
And he's just gonna die twice. Oh, the bash for good measure. Oh no. And that's gonna be walk of shame. They have no heroes reporting in on Felt. Like, what does Bounty Hunter do? He TPs in, throws his blood grenade. Like, I don't quite know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like these supports on the side of Felt are not good at rotating out of the mid lane. Oh, the Spirit Breaker here reminds me of like how Earth Spirit used to be when that hero was good. Just like initiating from such long range, being able to rotate onto the mid lane, then right back to the top lane. Just the amount of range on initiation as FCR.
A lot of damage. Nearly managed to find the kill, but he will end up falling anyway. So Stonebank, a lot of damage coming out from the Chaos Knight. The Soul Assumption spam onto the Lich was pretty good. The Infused Raindrops bought him a little bit of time, but
yeah, I mean, just the amount of damage that it can pump out with Soul Assumption.
Fade taking a ton of damage here from the techies. Once again, Sticky Bomb in just a couple of seconds, and Ghost of Bile, quick drive-by helps get the kill. It is a bloodbath so far as the river. We're seeing some more action happen here as Analog. Level 6 here on this Ember Spirit. Will get stunned up by the bounty for the moment, and Kits gets some good raise damage out as he does have that Arcane Rune. Now looking for King RD. He will be able to finish him off there. Yeah, there's the good rotation from the supports.
Yeah. This time the supports are there, and yeah, this is what I was talking about. There's so much kill threat on both teams. As Analog, whoa, Bounty Hunter having impact, Pog. Shadowwalk stun's doing a lot.
did get nerfed, so it's a little bit weaker now, but not bad. Top lane, they're looking for FCR once again on the Visage. AB1's got that Sinister Gaze from downtown. Stonebank doesn't seem to have the damage, though.
Rotation
Afraid
goes to
dive.
Belay.
Oh, that's a, Rupture onto the Lich. Not the end of the world.
Nice kill.
But are they done? Okay, yeah, they are done. They're
I
not
guess
going to
so.
chase for the
Can't
CK.
Charge to creep instead, so.
He wants to just take the portal and leave, and Stonebank's trying to make it a little bit annoying for him. But now Stonebank might have just baited himself a little bit. AJ goes in, hits the blast off, and then the bomb.
is still leaving.
Yeah. Bottom lane now.
As Analog, he's there, he's ready.
Dude, they're just gonna go ahead and go bottom. Like Costa Belay comes down here. Analog was already present on the Ember Spirit. And top lane, they will chase for FCR. Dude, we are just bloodbath gaming here. No one can survive. Okay, I take it back. He did survive on the Visage that time, but not for long.
They were thinking about it. They were hungry for the kill. Interesting ward placement from Albino Zebra. Oh, setup with the Shadow Walk.
Not bad.
Bonk, bonk,
Got
bonk.
an issue. Oh, what a Sinister Gaze. Very cool.
Nice.
Dude, who got the second Wisdom rune? I only see one. Oh, never mind. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, each team got one. We're
Yeah.
good.
Soldier's name is just too long. Charge through, lands on 3. Phantasm dodge.
Nicely done there. They're looking for FCR, but they're not going to find him. Instead, behind the tower, Analog and King RD will just chase down this Lich, trying to keep himself alive with the Infused Raindrop. And it might have been enough just to close the gap onto the Visage, but no, another Soul Assumption to burst him down. 2 kills for the side of Keed Stars, as it does force 4 here. Actually, all 5 heroes on top lane. It's close to Belay. Gets the Rupture onto Stonebank. And King RD with the charge right into a quick Blood Right. This is looking real rough for the side of Felt now. As it is only a 1k gold lead, but these kills add up to a lot of XP.
Yeah, and this is the patch, right? Like, we saw the gold and XP distribution change for these kills, and it becomes so much more valuable now to have this kill advantage. And the lanes, I think the issue is that all this violence is happening in the top lane, right? So Stonebank is just constantly pressured, and Costa Belay, he can choose to do whatever he wants. He can stay bottom, he can rotate up when Rupture's off cooldown. The placement of where Vivo Keystars are choosing to take these early skirmishes just allows them to play with greater map control.
And FCR has his phylactery now as well, so good amount of HP and mana going his way.
Yeah, and the Soul Assumption just hurt even more now.
Yeah, bottom lane, nice lasso comes out from Fade, but do they have damage to finish him off? He gets the kill into the tower. He's still got a Healing Lotus as well. He's going to pop that Nether Strike onto the Bounty. He will pop that stun for the moment. I'm surprised. Like he could have just ran away. Maybe not. Looking for the damage.
Wants it.
He does have the thirst. Oh, he loses the vision for a moment. So he's going to back off.
Analog was able to snipe the Invis rune, and there's a setup on the kits.
Ooh, nice.
Requiem comes out.
He's got a lot of damage here still. Will Remnant to dodge that out for the moment. The Sticky Bomb will connect, but Analog thinking about going for it. Instead, just drops the chains, trying to keep the Bat Rider away. But Bat Rider was not the main target. The Bounty Hunter does die here in the bottom side.
Finally goes down, huh?
Yeah, Bloodseeker is just very strong. He's got a super early Maelstrom. Like, this has to be one of the fastest Maelstroms I've seen in a while. He had it on that dive bottom. So Maelstrom's done with Phase Boots on his way to his BKB. And this Bloodseeker is going to just start to pull away really fast. He'll get his level 10 talent for that bonus Blood Rage attack speed. And then he just farms super quick.
I mean, Vivo Keystars to just set up the game perfectly for him. They take all this attention on the map, they put it up top, so Costa Belay can just free farm down bottom. Whenever Rupture's on cooldown, he just twin gates or TPs up, sets up for a kill, and then just goes straight back. And a lot of times we see them set up for another kill. As speaking of kills, Bounty Hunter struggling.
It happens to walk in sentry range, and they had the dust ready. And like you said, Bloodseeker, twin gates top, he looks for his heroes. They're trying to find Stonebank. He's gonna get caught.
Yeah,
stuck inside the stun. Rupture is still being held, but King RD grabs the bash, and it's only a matter of time before Stonebank will fall as well. The kill going the way of the techies. 3 heroes fall as FCR will finish off the tier 1 tower.
Yeah,
Fitz
this
grabs mid
game,
at
Vivo
least.
Keydstars, they are showing up for this series.
Dude, Costa Vida's Twin Gates and his TP rotations have been so sick. Like, he
I
TP'd the
know.
tower originally, gets the rupture, gets the kill, just Twin Gates back bottom. This time, Twin Gates top for the wraparound. I mean, he's done that a couple times now. It's just been really sick. He's been playing
He's
this
been playing
Blitzer
out of his
super well.
mind. It's such a refreshing thing to see from a carry, you know?
He's
Not just
so
AFK
farmed.
farming.
7K net worth in 12 minutes? You're freaking kidding me, man.
What a game, what a game, what a game.
550 GPM.
I mean, it's been set up by his team. The support
Yeah.
rotations onto mid. Kits isn't able to do anything. He gets Nether Strike back.
Yeah, forced to save him there with that Frost Shield, and it will be enough to save him, at least for the moment. King RD will die, but it's going to cost you the Lich, the Lasso. Catching FCRs, he takes a couple of raises and a lot of damage. To jump in from the techies will find a return kill, but now the bounties, level 6, these tracks are an issue. You have to start getting away here. The Rupture out from Costa Bile, grabbing Fade. He's stuck on the backside. Costa Bile just doing a ton of damage here, but has to respect this CK.
Yeah,
He's a little bit scary. Side Fist does come through. The Remnant as well. Analog grabs the kill, and now Stonebank, he's in pretty deep. He manages to find the kill on the techies, but it's going to cost him his own life. As Ember, the Sleight of Fist from the low ground, finds the kill. Now techies will bash up this Ember Spirit. A Sinister Gaze is available, but these two, they need more help.
No
they need
remnants.
more damage. They got him.
Yeah, he was just playing there without remnants, and the supports were able to eventually finish him off. And Stonebank walks up to the high ground, finishes off the Techie's kill, but he just stands inside of Techie's mind, and so that provides a damage for Coast to be able to man up and take down that CK. So a little bit over aggressive from Vivo Keydstars. We kind of saw this happen in game number 1 as well, but all in all, Costa Bila is still just absolutely running away. Yeah,
it's like almost the exact same fight. Last game it was like a 4 for 3. Like they got 4 kills, only lost 3. This time it was a 4 for 4, but still a lot of golden XP favorable for Felt since they are the ones that are pretty far behind.
and I think it's actually better than this game too, because their item timings come a lot quicker. Like SF really just needs this BKB, CK with this Echo Saber starts doing a lot more. So I don't think it's as big of a hole that Felter is sitting in compared to last game. I mean, just net worth wise, but also just draft wise, their timings come a lot earlier. So
I think it's way better. You got the bounty, man.
True. As long as they can keep getting kills, keep getting trades with trap, then the net worth sort of differential is going to feel a lot less. And we saw in last game, the fights were close despite the net worth difference. And so if it's that much more closer, then we could see Felt make a play for a comeback here.
Scan comes out on the jungle as they will know somebody's there. It's just tagging the bounty hunter for now. They're feeling pretty safe. FCR sitting next to his tower, going for that solar crest. I believe it's coming out on the courier right now. The completed solar crest. Yeah, it is. So he's got the solar crest now on top of the phylactery. We'll probably see the Aghanim Scepter come out eventually with the shard. Just the kind of typical Visage builds. Could see a Lincoln Sphere as well, as he does benefit a ton from a Lincoln Sphere being universal now. Techies with some big mind placements here. You got to be careful. There's going to be a lot of damage that these do.
True.
Need some good vision as well. KJ's just going to go in, but a good Sinister Gaze to cancel that blast off, and he is in trouble. Does have the mech at least to try and top himself off. There's a nice bash comes out, and there's the first kill. It's onto the Lich. Jumping on the backside will be Analog, but he realizes he has to bail. They're looking for that bounty hunter onto the side. They get the kill. 2 dead on the side of Felt, as the rest of the team will disengage.
Yeah, the go from Stonebank onto the techies interrupted by a charge. The Reality Rift wasn't able to connect, and it kind of just messed up their entire initiation. And there was a Requiem on the back, but it kind of just did nothing. He kind of just Requiem the ground as Vivo Keydstars wasn't up onto that ramp all the way. And so just really nice positioning from Vivo Keydstars. It looked like KJ might have fed there a little bit, but they're able to cover their techies and come away with 2 kills.
Yeah. Really, really, really nice.
And it's nice that this Techies is having a bit of game and a bit of net worth too, because he's able to go for this Guardian Greaves himself, allow Visage to play a little bit more selfishly, and go for these sort of like high stats universal hero items rather than just making the Visage be the aura bot.
Yeah.
It's a benefit of having your supports be having a nice game.
Have to agree. And bottom lane, Vision comes out thanks to the charge. They get up onto Fade's Batrider. Plenty of damage here in a moment. The bash, why not? A blast off as well as Costabile grabs the last hit. Top lane, Stonebank trying to find FCR, but doesn't get him. And in the river, how about another fight breakout as Analog's going to chase down the Bounty Hunter. A nice Chain Frost, however, going to bounce back and forth as Analog gets taken down by Kits. Will get the return kill onto the Bounty, but overall, a beautiful find for Felt there. They'll be very happy about that.
Such a nice trade. If Vivo Keystars are just able to ping pong across the map, getting whatever kills they want, you're in serious trouble. But the fact that you're able to trade your Bounty Hunter for the Ember Spirit is really big, especially getting that gold into Kits.
Yeah. It's a track kill plus the kill onto your mid SF. That's great.
But I mean, it just goes to show how hard it is to play this patch just alone. As King or D, is he in trouble here?
He doesn't have lasso. Yeah, he's fine.
Wow.
Top rune here, 18-minute will be a regen. It's supposed to be just gonna walk in and take it. They were a little bit too afraid.
Yeah, kids got spooked for sure.
Yeah, BKB done on the Bloodseeker as he queues up that Lincoln Sphere. He's gonna be very scary.
And he's very fast BKB timing, right? And this could seriously be go time for Vivo Keystars.
Another charge top? Yeah.
Oh my god, finally Zebra's melting.
The damage. Yeah, Visage is scary right now, man. Phylactery, Solar Crest, 4 points in Grave Chill. This guy's doing some serious damage.
Yeah, going for the Ags next as well. It's only going to increase. He's going to become spookier and spookier for any of these supports around. Speaking of supports, there's support on support violence happening.
Yeah, Analog just here to collect the bounty, you could say.
Oh, good one.
Yeah,
that's really good. Nice. You come up with these yourself, or?
Yeah, I write them down in preparation for the games if I see the heroes, just so I don't have to think on the fly. Because I'm really stupid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering, but that makes sense. Anyways, so Vivo Keystars, they're going into Roshan, looks like. Gonna be a very easy rush. I can't imagine there's a contest here from Felt. I think they'd much rather just kind of secure their BKB timing on Stonebank and wait for a
they don't
fight
really
with
have a
that
way
timing.
to fight into this. Yeah. Not at all. Costabile is level 16 with the BKB. He is way too strong at the moment. You're gonna have to try and just split push this until you can get this CK into like one-shot potential. Like, not only does he need BKB, but he's gonna need like a Blink Dagger eventually as well. So you can just like pop these heroes. It's just so rough playing this spear, this hero into the Spear Breaker. It seems like every time he's just getting like bashed by these charges just through the enemy teams. And Fade once again just getting charged in the bottom lane. Another strike comes out, and Analog is here, always here. They have the damage, the bash. It doesn't connect, but they finish him off anyway.
I just don't think you're allowed to play alone down here in this Batrider. Like, maybe if someone's with you, then they could cover you a little bit, but it feels like it's like the second time in a row that he just ran down this bottom lane alone and gets punished. There's a Tormentor.
Yeah.
I think it's looking tasty for the set of Vivo Keystars. Do they have vision?
They don't have detection for the bounty, which is quite nice. But Techies is walking over. You see all them get tracked. He's like, all right, I got a dust ready. Let me know if it happens again. All right, they are going to go for the Tormentor with the Visage Familiar. It should be fairly easy. And Lich walks up, realizing that's happening. Dust does come out, finds the Bounty Hunter, the charge coming through as well. But Kit's on the backside, big Requiem.
Nice.
Can they follow it up, though? That's the question. They need to get the Visage. They will take down the Techies first, and a Chain Frost on the backside just eliminates those Familiars. The Chain Frost follows him. He brings it over to his team. A disaster for Vivos. They've lost 3 and potentially more as Costabile. He's going to turn around with the BKB, try and fight up into Stonebank. He's taking a beating himself, though, but he's just managing to sustain through it all. It's a massive complete turnaround. Analog is here. He's got the slight chains, looking for Fade. Will they be able to follow it up? He's got a blood right in a couple of seconds. The lasso underneath the tower. He finishes off one, but it's going to be Costabile, the grand champion of this fight, with an ultra kill, as he's the only survivor.
it was looking so good, and then Costa Bila just 1v5'd it felt like.
Yeah. He got that one kill to get back into the fight, right? Just a little bit of extra HP from the thirst. And
This is
from
what I was
there,
talking about
it's
in
a
draft,
snowball.
right? It's just the core-to-core matchups. Bloodseeker can man-fight either of these heroes, the CK or the Shadow Fiend. We just watched him do it. And this hero just seems a bit too good for the heroes that Felt have drafted.
Oh my gosh, King RD is getting absolutely owned by this by this bounty hunter.
True.
Nice charge though, and here comes the turnaround. His Visage is here to collect, and a shield rune on the bottom. Oh, nice light chains. He's gonna be forced to try and deny the rune, but he just picks it up anyway. And Kits has to BKB. He's got no TP for this.
And then
Dude.
Stonebank, he's ruptured. His BKB was used. It's done. It's out. He's dead.
You get a lasso kill there onto the techies, but at what cost? Two hero chains right into the blood, right? The Chain Frost bouncing around, but it doesn't matter. Another double kill for Costa Bila as he is level 20 on this Bloodseeker. Running away with this game now.
Make the hurting stop. It's a full team wipe.
He went for the spell lifesteal at once. Is that what people do now in this hero since the Ags is viable?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess so.
You get the Maelstrom procs as well. Just helps you sustain a little bit. The real meme build is Radiance Kaya Yasha with the spell lifesteal.
That does definitely sound like a meme. I believe it.
You heard it here first, folks. Run it in your pubs. No one will get mad at you.
I used to run that on the Underlord actually mid for a while.
That sounds good.
That went Radiance first, Underlord mid every single game. And they were
Do you get the shard and like Q yourself and run in with Radiance?
Nah, that didn't seem super necessary. It was just like Boots of Travel, Radiance into Kaya Sanj, and then after that, usually just like BKB Abyssal Blade.
I see. No Bloodstone gaming.
Nah, you just hit people. It's good. Anyway, back onto this game. Blink Lasso out from the Batrider does find King RD here, but numbers coming through from the side of Evo Keystars if they can try and take this fight. A nice Chain Frost, gonna bounce back and forth, bring KJ back in. Stonebank gets that kill, but the Rupture's caught Kits, and he is dead. Stonebank has the BKB available, gonna be forced to use it, but Costa Bila is too big to fail, baby. He's been bailed out.
he's like a bank, too big to fail. Getting bailed out, continues to come back. Too strong, too big, too fat, and he's carrying his team to victory. And we saw this Bloodseeker SF matchup. It is not a good matchup for that SF. Bloodseeker just rips through the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, he gets ruptured. Shadow Fiend has to like stand there and like channel Requiem, and then he just presses BKB, and you're like, well, that's unlucky. You know, what can you do?
Yeah, feels like there's not really a place for Shadow Fiend in these fights at the moment.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And this Blood Mist overhealing is nuts.
Yeah, I know. What a hero. Going for the Mjolnir next.
Now that I'm thinking about this, is basically like my Necro build in Diablo 4 right now, where all of my overhealing just barriers me. It's pretty neat.
That does sound super neat. I was wondering, do we have a timer on how long it took Ricky to talk about Diablo 4? Or...
Someone timestamp it, 25 minutes. Game 2. Figure I had to talk about it at some point.
Taking this tier 2, Felt there might be a final hurrah here. They need to find a lasso onto this Bloodseeker, I think.
Oh,
there's a rupture. There's a
Stonebank ruptured up. They bought the BKBs. Costa Bila is gonna go in, but the lasso. Wait, what? Did he lasso nothing? Oh my goodness! It's just an impossible fight. He's just healing through it. You do get the burn, taking down the Space Cow, but yeah, the sustain from this Blood Mist is just too much. Did he planar pocket the lasso or something? What happened? He doesn't even have it. I don't know what he lassoed. I heard it, but it wasn't the Bloodseeker.
Was it a Lincoln's?
I mean, I don't think you'd hear the lasso sound effect though. That's
Yeah,
what
it
I was
must have been
looking
a planar
for.
pocket. 'Cause I didn't see the Lincoln's pop.
Oh,
Yeah.
he doesn't have the shard. That's what I was trying to maybe he lassoed like a familiar or something.
Oh, maybe. That'd be funny.
Very unlucky for Felt, but high ground starting to fall here as Costa Bile is back in action.
Yeah,
Everyone's
barracks.
respawning, but yeah,
Yeah,
they're gonna
doesn't
get the
matter.
barracks and back.
Yeah, and it's 30 seconds until potential spawn for Roshan, so Vivo Keydstars, they're in no rush to go for another set. They can just get an Aegis, start the siege again, and I mean, at this point I'd be looking for ways for Felt back to the game, but it feels pretty hopeless. This Bat Rider, it has to be the key, right? But it feels like he's completely solved. Like, trying to find a target here, it's like you find, what, the techies? It seems pretty rough as, where do you find Solji?
Oh, Stonebank blinks aggressively.
He's
The
ruptured.
BKB, the rupture, he's just getting
Oh,
crushed.
God. No buyback.
Casual bash from that Spirit Breaker pretty much wastes his BKB duration, and now AB1 falls underneath the tower. 3 heroes dead right outside their base, and Costa Bile just continuing to beat down these towers. You do have the buyback, so they will buy back here on the Bounty Hunter. The waves aren't in a great position bottom here. That's one thing that they really do need to deal with. AJ could go for the rune. Yeah, they are. They're just going to steal the Wisdom Rune. Don't want to give anyone a chance to get back into this game.
Yeah, and like I said, like, the Roshan timer is ticking, so Evo Keedstar is not super in a rush to try to go high ground and force high ground on this CK kill, but really questionable blink forward there from Stunbank. I think he was trying to find the follow-up, but even still blinking forward to find follow-up onto a Spirit Breaker, I'm not sure that's a target, as the Spirit Breaker does have a Yasha and Kaya, which is pretty base.
He's got Boots of Bearing, Yasha, Kaya, Bulldoze. Like, this hero is going to be so hard to keep your hands on.
Yeah.
He's like a space cow, you know, covered in just, you know, baby oil or something. You're not gonna
Yeah, he's like
on this guy.
slicked up.
I was gonna say he's like a greased up pig, but he's a space cow instead. So maybe a greased up cow. I don't know. Mid lane, the rupture comes out again to Stonebank. He's trying to just make his way up onto the high ground. He's gonna be forced to get as far back into his base as possible.
I mean, rupture down.
Yeah. Rupture is indeed down.
Requiem's being faked out. Making it very loud inside the Dire base.
Yes. Speaking of Visage, he almost has an AC, and now he does. So, AC with the Aghanim Scepter makes Silent to the Grave incredibly scary. You just do so much damage coming out of this thing. We're gonna see another smoke come out from Felt here, but look at Techies, man. He is building just an entire minefield outside the enemy base here. They get the scan. They have an idea of where they are. But how do you approach this high ground?
You need to wrap all the way
vision.
around. You need to like go under the secret shop and come up.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean they might be able to do it with the bounty hunter scouting.
Goes to
do
Melee?
it soon.
He's at the camp. Smoke.
This would be
They know.
massive.
They know.
They
This
drop
is
the
the
ward.
jump.
Can they get the kill though? He gets the
Awesome.
BKB off in
Oh, he gets
time,
the
and I don't think you have the
BKB
burst. He's just gonna turn it around, just destroying the Lich with his Blood Mist active, just doing so much damage. That's gotta be the GG, the Hail Mary play.
That was
As
it.
Costa
How does he
Bile
get-
gets the BKB off. Oh, what a disaster.
How does he get BKB off there? You had
Lincoln's
vision.
baby, that's how.
I know. And Vivo Keydstars, very, very convincing little series here as they kind of wiped the floor with Felt 2 games in a row. And we were a little bit more confident that Felt had better lanes this time around, but the amount of violence, the amount of aggression that Vivo Keydstars came into it. And I have to say, the MVP of the series, I think, goes to these supports on Vivo Keydstars. King RD, KJ just getting such big value out of the rotations across the map, shutting down the mid lane multiple times in a row, shutting down the safe lane multiple times in a row. And the amount of aggression they brought towards this Felt safe lane this time around just gave Costa Bile the freest game imaginable. So really well
and it
done
shows in
from
his
Vivo
kill score
Keydstars.
for sure.
Yeah. Very excited to see if they can make it further in this tournament.
Yeah, and speaking of going further in the tournament, this will put them up against Hokori happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be our last day here of the preseason invitational, so you will not want to miss it. The first series of the day will be Infamous taking on the side of Wildcard, and then we've got Vivo Keystars taking on Hokori. The winners of those two series will be in the grand finals, the last series of the day, which you will be, joined by myself and Wesley. So that should be a lot of fun. You definitely will not want to miss it. So it should be a bunch of good games happening. A much longer day, so it means we will be starting earlier in the afternoon. So definitely make sure to come check that out. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. Big shout out to NADCL and of course Nouns for helping us put this whole thing together. We really appreciate it. Was there any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, I'm super excited for a grand finals cast tomorrow, a whole day of North American Dota and South American Dota too, and to see who can be the winner. Very excited.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all tomorrow. Again, my name is Cryptic. I've been here with Wesley. We'll see you on the grand finals. A wonderful night.